Alright, we've actually got quite a few packages to go through. So, do that. So it's a good news for everybody who likes the big updates. This one is that now rare Crunchyroll package. Placed further than me this, but that was the box. We also have this. Okay, Smiles up here. Let's see. I think there's hentai buried in here as well. So let's put that to the side. Dig the hentai out so I can, look at it and make sure it's not inappropriate for camera. Even though this is 18 plus, I can't go completely. Okay, I think, yeah. And you thought that was done? There's also 4 of these. This is right here. Okay, it should be most everything. This one's a hentai. Let's put that aside. I did manage to mix this. It's trying to fall. That one's not. Yeah, I believe there's one more hentai in here. It's going to be one of these two. Looks like it's this one. Let's set this to the side. No, that's not. Which means it is this other one. No, that's not. Okay, how did I lose track? Well, it doesn't matter. Just make sure. Blu-ray, yes. Just make sure, and then look at these real quick. I can't 100% say that I haven't already had these, but I don't know. I guess we have Marauding Milf, which has been on my pre-order page for a while, I guess. And then we have Kitty's Twin Treats 3 and 4. I would assume I have 1 and 2. Made for Pleasure, Lady Does Butler, Pure Hard Girl, etc., and Sexual Conquests. The names sound familiar, so I'm guessing I probably had those before. But no, let's get to the main stuff. First we have Konosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World. You know, the side season of Konosuba. It's hard to get up, but let's see. DVD and Blu-ray regions A and B. Video, audio contains an English dub and Japanese with English subtitles. Alright. That covers everything, so now let's see. Can we get it out? Oh, I do like. So I definitely like this imagery. That feels more like this season. And then we've got the inside. Oh. Got a lot to go through. But this is good. I'll see if I can go through the reviews of the stuff quick. Okay. 2, 1, into 2. So one unfortunate thing, if anybody didn't have the slip cover is, I think, better than this, but this is definitely nice to have inside the slip cover. It didn't look reversible, so hopefully that's there for everybody. We have Tokyo Mew Mew New. Was this a volume 2? This is a volume 2, which I think means that I got a volume 1 at some point, but I honestly don't remember right now. So I'll probably try and double check. I do feel loose disc on the inside, but let's take a look here. We've got region A only, so not importable. Japanese with English subtitles only, so I'm not that. And just a nice, simple release. Not even art on the inside, just art on the discs. Again, a nice, simple release. I'm actually going to shine a little light on this. That doesn't show up on the camera too well. I was just trying to think if something about that made me wonder if this was... maybe not. I mean, it does say Sentai there. What if it's fake? I don't know. This one I think I've pre-ordered for a while. I don't like you at all, big brother. But it finally arrived today. I think, is this Media Blasters? I guess the only way to find out is not to necessarily look at the back for Media Blasters. I don't remember if they release under that title. Not rated. Is this Hentai? Doesn't look like it. It looks... yeah, it says Media Blasters there. Okay. So, Japanese with English subtitles only. Region A only. Whoa. Oh yeah, because it's just probably slightly erotic, but maybe not outright hentai, because it probably says on the back here that it's a number of episodes or something, and I missed that. 300 minutes makes it about 12 episodes. 2 discs. Guess none of those seem to say it, but yeah, that's fine. We've got Kuma Bear Punch Season 2, which is interesting because this was just listed as Kuma Bear Regions A and B, importable, English dub. Not that I remember if the first season was dubbed, it probably was. Nice. Always pleased when there's a slipcover and the art is different than me. Does feel like this plastic is not coming off smoothly. Oh, close enough. And we'll take a peek on the inside. Disc 1. Disc 2. Back in the slipcover. Next we've got Ice Guy and his cool... let's see... the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. Nice. Let's get the plastic off and look at the back for settings. I don't know. Regions A and B, so this is also importable. English dub. It is definitely nice that there's so many A-B stuff going out. I really like the way these slipcovers have gone today. Like, this makes it much nicer. Did I read the title right? Oh well. Anyways, that's much nicer, but it's definitely nice on the inside for it to be different. I really like that. It's a small thing, a simple thing. And that's upside down. Sorry about the... oof. Cool. Naruto Shippuden, Blu-ray sets 3, I thought. Let's see. Yeah, that says it there. Set 3, Region A only. Should be an English dub. English and Japanese audio. I mean, it'd be really weird because, you know, it's not like this is the first release of this. It's just the first release on Blu-ray. Okay, so that and that are the same. You know, they just have the manga on the back, but this is new. Doesn't feel like it separates, so it may be the only one. I also don't remember what the other arms look like. I'm going to put this in front. We'll take a quick look at the Blu-ray discs. It's okay. Now we probably get into the more interesting stuff. Maybe not necessarily the favorite series, although Uzaki-chan is... is it a cultural thing? I don't know. Whatever. The point is, though, this is definitely a much bigger limited edition release. And so here's where pretty premium stuff comes into play. For those of you that don't have the money to spend on this, you're probably glad that you can see it, I guess. I don't know. Regions A and B, English. Probably for some of you, it's just great to have a chance to see something before you might try to buy it, I guess. Which means I should definitely prioritize trying to get into this thing. It's interesting. I'm feeling like it doesn't want to let me open, especially on this side. Oh, there we go. There we go. Looks like there's cards in here. Let's get this plastic off and take a look at them. Alright. And I can definitely feel that I'm taking away too many cards. Okay, I guess I was kind of aware of this, but I guess we see more of her family. Alright. Good, simple stuff. I guess I don't put that back because there's nowhere to put it back. So I put this aside and we take a look. I guess we should take a look at the cover art just to make sure. Here's the Blu-ray itself. I think we already read regions A and B. English dub, it did say English dub, right? I think I went through it so fast that I just didn't register. Well, and once again, nice, different under the slipcover. Although this one is definitely presentable as a full release, I guess. Couldn't remember if the back looked different or not, though. Cat. I'm glad he's wearing less than her, because otherwise it would have been kind of silly. You know, with all the other hentais and me trying to be worried about showing those, but then it's like, well, that's a swimsuit, but you know, sometimes a swimsuit is a little more than, okay, yeah, we didn't look at this booklet. Just to kind of give it a rough idea of what kind of stuff's in here. Oh, you know, that looks like actually a nice collection of stuff. Pretty cool. Okay, that's why it was all arranged the way it was, because this needs to go back on the DVD Blu-ray, and then this goes in there like that. And then, last but not least, we have A Place Further Than the Universe. A Place Further Than the Universe, which I don't know much about, but it's definitely a very intriguing name. And like I said, this one was a Crunchyroll exclusive, so you know, I couldn't just lazily get it all on Amazon. Region A only. Okay. Madhouse. Audio, Japanese and English, so it has an English dub. Hold on. Did I want to put this in here? Sorry, I got distracted. I'm pretty sure fans of Place Further Than the Universe are really disappointed that I'm seeing if I can do this. Okay, however, if I do that first and then, no, other way around. If I do this first and then I sneak this in here, and I can do that. So I'm going to try and do the same thing for this one, but let's put it aside. Start taking a look. For some reason, this almost looks like a Naruto ninja. I know that's not what they're trying to do, but it's interesting. Oh, that's a loose disc. As long as it's only one loose disc. "13 episodes. Seems about right. I was just worried because it almost looked like another disc could fit there, but I think that's just supposed to be a bit of an egg shape. And I think that's soundtrack there. Interesting. Penguin, so maybe North Pole sorts of explorers. And this pile's a little high, but kind of giving a rough impression of what's in there, and pretty cool. Alright, these are not sealed. That's kind of short sleeves to be wearing in Antarctic conditions, if this is Antarctica. Interesting. Not sure if I got them all. What is this? This is a poster. Let's take a quick peek at it. And really just a peek, just because I'm not going to fully display it. Maybe just get a rough enough idea. Probably anybody that's interested in the image can probably find this on the internet in better quality than anything I could show on here. Well, that's it. So, and after I just said, I'm going to see if I can sneak this in there. So I think we'll do it the same way we did Uzaki-chan, where we're going to put all this in a nice sandwich on the top, and then do this. It's close. That did it. Alright. Here's this week's physical anime collection update. Alright. First of all, caught up with dub stuff with my Friday friend. So that's episodes 52 and 53 dubbed of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 3. And I guess it was interesting. I mean, I think I mentioned before that there was something about them, not exactly bad, but maybe just kind of feels like it's doing a lot of setup. And I mentioned that 53 before was just kind of nice. And I guess it felt very much the same with the dub. Maybe a couple of things felt interesting, especially, I guess, the recollection of the main events from the previous season, because one of the big voice actor change I mentioned, the king of, what's it called? Definitely a very obvious different voice actor in Season 3 here, and very obviously a different voice actor in that one flashback. So, yeah, it was interesting. Kind of nice to rewatch. But I feel like the coming episodes might be better. But I'll talk about that later. Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 dub, episodes 13 and 14. Just entertaining enough stuff. It's not quite, you know, it's not any different rewatching it this time versus last time, but it's not quite the same stuff that the first season was, I guess. But of course, based on where it was going, it'd be interesting to see where it continues to go. But, you know, dub continuing to be nice. Let's see. Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, Season 3, Episode 6. Kazuma was pretty fucking cool. And I've got a coworker that I talked to a bit. He basically said that after Season 2, you know, he basically started reading the manga because I guess some people were feeling like maybe Season 3 was never going to come out. And of course, here it is, and that's pretty cool. And he was saying that, you know, I guess there were other moments cut out from the manga that weren't in here that kind of represents, you know, when the manga wants to, he can be a pretty cool character. And this one played with us a little bit, but I thought overall it was just kind of nice. Next up, Mysterious Disappearances, Episode 6. what happened in this episode. I don't know. Interesting researchy and searching and stuff, but a little laid back. I do wonder if maybe the show doesn't quite sate people who might be into mysteries as much as a lot of other shows. It's just kind of nice to watch. Speaking of nice to watch, an Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride, episode 8. Like I mentioned, the previous episode was actually pretty touching, and this one was kind of a nice follow-up to it, and ending on a pretty interesting setup. I kind of want to see what happens next. This has just been a really good series as far as I can tell. So I'm definitely curious what's about to do for the next episode. A Solid Bowl of Eccentrics, episode 7. I guess it was okay. Let's see. Just the Kotatsu was there. I guess that was the thing. Can't think of much about it. It was just a thing. But I'd say the stuff that happened after that feels a lot more in line with maybe, I guess, the fundamental premise of the show. Delicious in Dungeon, episode 20. That, and was there something else? That? Entertaining enough. Trigger, I'd say, continues to do a really good job. It's just a very watchable show. I really like it. I look forward to it every day. Now, every week. Now, the main problem is that I also try to make sure I time it with me eating something. But, that's just kind of a funny thing. Let me see, that time I got reincarnated as Slime Season 3, episode 55. So like I said, I'm watching Dubbed with my friend, and I'm still keeping up with the latest airing episodes. And I thought this one was a very enjoyable episode because I feel like the stuff they've been setting up is actually happening. Now, would have been nice if the stuff that's going to happen in the next episode, hopefully, happened in this episode, but, I think it was all actually quite nice. So, good stuff, I would say. The Misfit of Demon King Academy, Season 2, Episode 18. I sometimes have trouble even following if this show's trying to do something. Sometimes you're just watching it because somehow it's awesome, but it's also got some good feel-good stories going on to it. It's been nice. Episode 18 I thought was nice. It felt a little season-endy more than I thought it should. Probably because it's ending a sub-arc of the main arc. But, yeah, whatever. Irregular Magic High, Season 3, Episode 7. So I had a lot to complain about the previous episode. This one was actually okay. Maybe not, great, but kind of covering stuff that's more relevant to our main character doing stuff. And more importantly, I guess building up on stuff. So, this season's been kind of hit or miss, but I think Irregular Magic High just has a problem where the first season could almost stand alone on its own and just be fine. Even though we would want to watch more, but we don't necessarily need to from a storytelling thematic perspective. But, episode 7 just reminded me of the ups and downs. And the ups aren't the most upward ups, just kind of nice, I guess. Train to the End of the World, episode 7. I guess it was okay. It's hard to say what I feel and think about the show. Sometimes I feel like I can watch it and I'm really curious about what it's going to do, and sometimes it just sort of is. It's not necessarily bad in its is, it just sort of is. God's Game We Play, episode 7. I guess an okay enough setup, although I almost didn't feel like I had the energy to watch it. I wonder if I can think of more to say. Kaiju number 8, episode 6. That's right, it was all that stuff. And our main character continuing to be a little interesting and not booyah awesome like some other stuff, but definitely some interesting setup here that should be interesting. Yes, something some people should be talking about more in the show. And some characters haven't said certain stuff yet, but at least the show isn't toying with us and leaving us wondering, because it's here we got the follow-up, I guess, or a hint of the follow-up, and I'm definitely curious to see what that follow-up is going to be. Well set up. Newgate, episode 6. Let me see. I guess it's continuing to be its Newgate stuff. It's got some ideas in there that are kind of nice, but, you know, it feels like the execution is a little, not bad, just kind of okay at best, I guess. Maybe not necessarily exciting, but, you know, entertaining. Maybe a little slow in its feeling, because it'd be like, when are you going to get to some of the stuff that would actually interest me? And that's interesting. I might have something similar to say. Reincarnated Aristocrat, episode 7. I thought it was okay. Probably... Now, it did not help that throughout the weekend I kind of was in a foul mood. But... You know, I guess while it is a contextually touching and sort of fine, I guess it's also just sort of... just that? No, there's elements of it that were just fine, good setup as well, but yeah, I don't know, just... And then the episode 19 of Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 appeared to have been delayed. Hopefully y'all aren't saying Giga Yubaka. Or maybe, hopefully you are, because then I'll have 2 episodes to watch. But, yeah, I thought I checked. It was just really confusing, because I think a lot of the sites that were saying the episode that was delayed was actually, they gave the name of episode 18, which already aired. So I think they were maybe confused. But that's fine. Tsukimichi Season 2, Episode 20. This was actually a nice episode. Like, I guess we didn't see our main character kicking butt, but we did see something that's just like, okay, I like what happened in here. And I think if y'all are watching it, y'all would probably agree. It's kind of neat. Reincarnated as the 7th Prince. Okay, this one's kind of similar to Newgate in terms of feeling like I'm waiting for it to lead to something, but it seems to deliberately setting up this episode to delay it, mostly because of what's going to happen in the next episode, I guess, based on the preview, but it's really hard to say because what happened at the end of this episode is also quite a thing. I wouldn't necessarily say the best stuff there, because I guess the real problem with this, so unlike Newgate kind of has the main character, but kind of has problems. Problems may be too strong of a word. Weaknesses, I guess, derived from just the way it's executing with its main character stuff. Whereas this one deliberately didn't have our main character around for stuff, and was about story related to the other characters, and it was perfectly fine. Especially if the next episode is a good follow-up, because the previous episode was a good prequel to it, and what can I say? Kind of looking forward to all of it, I guess. Remonster, episode 8. I guess okay enough stuff. It just sort of is, but I thought the setup was really interesting. I'm really wanting to see where it's about to go next. Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf, episode 8. Very pleasing to watch. Like I said, it's the last anime I choose to watch on Mondays, and it was just nice and satisfactory. And then finally, Chilling in Another World with Level 2 Super Cheat Powers, episode 7. I guess it's kind of neat, kind of nice. It's missing a little something. What was it? I was thinking, I guess just certain interactions with certain other characters which should have been more happening, but hasn't. And I guess because the show's trying to make sure it builds up certain ideas, and I guess it'll be interesting to see what it does with them. But at the same time, it did feel like that thing that should have had a much bigger payoff only had an okay payoff, I guess. I guess that's my thoughts in a nutshell. Okay. Anything else to talk about? I did play some Chaos Mode, Dead by Daylight. Sorry. Chaos Shuffle. And that's a game mode, and the idea is you play and your perks are randomized, and so are everybody else's perks. And You know, that was fine. But it's really easy for me to say that as a killer that isn't generally trying to win. I got through the entire event until I'm leaving the one survivor, only one undone. Because I guess I just can't survive her. I just can't get up the energy to want to do it. I barely kill her as it is. And I need to focus and pay attention because we are getting closer to the next chapter release. And then the anniversary event. I guess I've seen the new killer and entertaining enough. Like, I'm not very familiar with Vecna. And that's the Dungeons and Dragons Vecna, but he exists, and I think he's neat as a killer. I think there's some problem with maybe he's been given a little too much counterplay to everything he can do. And I can understand some of the fear of that. Like, his flight thing, 100% the devs are worried about creating something as strong as Nurse. And yeah, I don't know, some of those things are just like kind of strong but not that strong. Sorry, it's not that they're not that strong. I'm getting exhausted. I think I need to wrap things up because it was not a very stress-free week. I did not get much mental recovery over the weekend, just what I had, but I do have a 3-day weekend coming up, and hopefully Friday will be fine. I have to get my car in to be inspected, and while I'm at that, you know, I get a couple other small things done. Oil change, tire rotation. In this case, I'm going to have them try and top up the AC. It's not as cold as it could be. It's cool, but not cold. And I would prefer it to be able to be cold, so maybe I can choose to not have it be on full blast or something. Or I have moments when I want it on full blast and I can choose to do that. But I digress. I very digress. Y'all, have a nice week.